No, it's actually pretty cool to see. There you go. Hey everyone, it's TT Guy here. Hey, I don't know if that showed up on the sign or not before it flashed away. But Accent Inns, they're advertising right on their light up billboard there that they're motorcycle friendly. Will they go again? No. And that kind of got me to thinking about this article I read. I don't want to piss anyone off. That's not my point here. So I'm not going to say who posted it, and I'm not going to say who shared it. But if you're following me on Facebook and you're subscribed in such a way you can see everything I comment on, you'll know and you'll understand maybe better after this what happened. It pissed me off, and unfortunately I left not the nicest remark. It wasn't rude. I've had enough. I've really had enough. I'm tired of the motorcycle being associated with all things bad. And to come full circle here to the sign at the Accent Inns, I'm glad to see somebody has stepped up and is supporting the motorcycle. You would think, I don't know, when did the motorcycle make its big public debut? After the war, let's say, probably. Just because there was a lot of soldiers that come home, they had their bikes that they rode overseas and whatnot. The bike was cheap, it was easy, there was plentiful, all the old, what were they, WLs, I guess they were, the Harley 45s. So let's say it was the 40s. Well, you would have thought in the 80s, after 40 years, that would have been enough to make the whole scene and misunderstanding of the motorcycle go away, but it wasn't. So go to the next major change into the 2000s. Once you change over the millennium, 60 years after the fact, that didn't help it any. People are still so naive to it and so goofy, and here we are now another 16 years later after that. So we're, what, 75 years, somewhere in that neighborhood? Between 60 and 80 years, the motorcycle has been pretty much out there. Most people know about them, know what they are. A lot of people ride them, and yet after split the difference 70 years of the motorcycle being around, people are still naive enough to think that this two-wheeled machine is just all associated with the life of crime and evil and bad and gangs. Give your head a shake. Man, the whole point of my channel is to break that sort of stuff and break the views and the stubbornness and pig-headedness that's toward the adventure sport and the enduro and the classic adventure sport or adventure classic. Just because they're old doesn't mean you can't have fun on them. This particular bike is a great bike. It's won the hearts of many, many people worldwide. And if you don't believe me, see the work that I've been doing on trying to find where these things are. And there's pockets where they're stronger, like in South America and in Europe and certain parts in the States. They're worldwide. Everybody loves them. And out of the 200 or so people that participated in saying where they were on this one particular brand, not one of them is into drugs and selling drugs and using their bike to transport drugs. Give your head a shake. Well, like, what? The person who's on drugs is the person who thinks people are doing that. That's the one who's on drugs. I'm just saying that man, I'm getting pissed off here, and I'm probably not even going to be able to post this. But I was scrolling through Facebook to see what was going on, who's up to what. I'm involved in a lot of stuff to try to keep tabs onto what's going on in the motorcycle communities and what's new for bike news and everything else. And I stumbled across this post that basically said, parents be warned if your kid takes a sudden interest in motocross that they may want to buy a dirt bike to deal drugs. I can't figure out. Maybe I'm the one who's uptight. Maybe the whole thing was posted as a joke. It didn't look that way. It looked pretty friggin' real, and it was shared from a site that, from what I would be able to determine, would share that kind of pig-headed stubbornness. I think the person who reposted it, or the group that reposted it, meant it in a comical manner. But nonetheless, I was blown away. I was blown away that after 70 years of the motorcycle being around and being a fixed part of society, they would still be that stubborn and pig-headed and foolish enough to think that that's how things are, to think that that's the way it is. I was beyond words pissed off. It is so unfair to those of us who ride. It's so unfair to those of us, well, I guess it's not us, to those who want to ride and get denied because of the public image and or what their parents say, or that it's frowned upon, or this or that. Bullshit. You want to go for a motorcycle ride, I encourage it 100%. And if you're not sure if it's right for you, here's what you do. Because the thrill is bloody well the same. If you're in most North American countries, well, see, I'm upset and I can't even speak. If you're in North America or most other countries, you don't have to have a special license to ride a scooter. In most places, you can rent a scooter for like 35 bucks as long as you have a car license. I know it's not a motorcycle, it's the scourge of the road, I get it. But you know what? It's the same sort of an idea, and nobody can deny you that. So if you think you might have an inclination to get out there on two wheels and try this all out, do it. Go down, pay the $35, spend your 20 extra or whatever it is for the insurance thing in case you crash the stupid thing. They're only worth like $1,000 anyway, it don't matter. Go and rent the stupid thing for the afternoon. Forget about the image and this person said that and that person said this and all that crap, and just see if you like it. You're gonna feel vulnerable as hell because you got nothing to protect you. I remember when I first got my license, I was sitting at an intersection, foot down on the white line, waiting to turn, and man, I had never felt so vulnerable in my life. But holy crap, I'm gonna get hit by a pedestrian and not survive. But you get over that. And what settles in and what makes it all worthwhile is that sense of freedom. You're in the elements, you can smell things and you can see things. Hell, sometimes you can taste things, for Christ's sake. And you don't get that in a car. And you're not, because you ride something with two wheels, you're not going to start doing drugs because you're on the drug. You're on the drug already, and that's the motorcycle. It's adrenaline, it's freedom. It's so many things that I can't put into words, try to describe, or even begin to comprehend as to how to portray on a stupid camera strapped to my chin. Do it. Just do it. You won't regret it. And you know what? If you decide you don't like it, you still won't regret it because at least you said that you went and tried it. And like I say, I know it's not a motorcycle. It's a bloody scooter. But you don't have to invest anything in it to try it, to see if you like the idea of being open and free and out there. Some people can't handle it. I've talked to a lot of people and they say that they can't handle the insecurity of it. Hey, I get that. A lot of other people just think it's too dangerous. Well, I understand that too, but that's your own naivety. You can die in a plane crash. You can die in a bus crash. I don't think riding a motorcycle is any more dangerous than doing anything else. Go stand in a crowd. This day and age with everything that's going on, you're probably just as much risk standing in a crowd than you are freaking riding a motorcycle. I don't mean to rant. I don't think it's fair. I really don't think it's fair. How, there's my blinker here, there we go. How in this day and age, in 2016, can everyone be so naive and crazy to just automatically assume that the motorcycle commits you to a life of crime? It doesn't. It does not, I assure you that. I'm a family man, I have 2 daughters at home, and I'm a mechanic for a career and to put food on my table. I don't do drugs, I don't sell drugs, I don't even speed, for Christ's sake. And I have absolutely zero temptation to do any of that stuff. But what I will tell you, I don't even drink. I have a bottle of rye in my cupboard that's been there for, I think next month is a year, and it's not even half gone. You don't need it. You don't do it. You have a crappy day, you get on the bike, you twist that right hand. You don't even have to speed, you just accelerate out of the merge lane onto the highway or down your favorite road, and you're free. And you're set free. Don't let anyone talk you out of riding. Don't spend a whole bunch of money on a brand new bike and licensing and all the other stuff associated. Don't be foolish. You haven't tried it. Go, like I say, rent a scooter. See if you can rent a dirt bike and go for a good trail ride in a fairly open area to where you can get out and see kind of the feel that you'd have. And if you figure you kind of like it and you like the idea of it, then do your research, figure out what you want to ride, and go from there. Once you have your motorcycle license, there's places that'll rent you a motorcycle. You can, here in town, I can go and rent a Grom if I'm curious about it. I can rent a brand new Triumph. Hell, I can rent some cruiser. I think there's Victory. I know there's BMW. You can go rent a brand new, what is that, R9T. You can rent one of those. It's $35 an hour, plus a little bit for insurance. Less than $50, you walk out of the place with a brand new bike. You can ride for an hour. That's better than any dealership will offer you for a test ride. So don't be so naive. Obviously, if you're watching this, you probably already ride, so I don't need to preach it to you guys. But do me a favor, can you share this for me? Can we try to stop the ignorance that surrounds the motorcycle? And then maybe we won't have the road rage, we won't have the people purposely getting cut off, we won't have all the negativity and everything else that's surrounded the motorcycle. I'm sorry this isn't a happy video. I don't like making these, but after 70 years, something's got to give. Somebody's got to open their eyes. Alright guys, I'm going to sign off here. Sorry I wasn't on a happy note, but for those of you who do ride, keep on wheeling. For those of you who don't, get out there.